Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out a little narrative-driven platformer by developer Crymello called Autocannibalism. I should warn you up front, it is a little bit on the gross side, so if you're a little squeamish or you are not into mature style content, might want to pass on this one. I just like to get that stuff out of the way up front. It's not horrible or anything, but it's a gross concept, essentially. I mean, you could probably tell by the title, Autocannibalism. Let's put those two words together and separate them back apart. You get the idea. Let's press Z. We'll start it out, have a little bit of a look here. I did play this one through. It's very, very short, so this is not going to be a particularly long episode, but I thought it was kind of a cool little story, cool presentation style anyway, and an interesting use of narrative in-game, and that's kind of one of the things that we're here to find. So, Z. So here we are, a sort of a native tribe, I suppose, one of many here, all dancing about, looking for something. What are we looking for? Well, our father tells us, "Oh, son, our village is starving. I've heard that the cave east from here is hiding some food, but it's too dangerous to search in there. Please help us find something to eat." So those two statements right there. So there's some food possibly hiding in this cave to the east, but it's too dangerous to search in there. So we shouldn't search in there? But actually, I'm about to search in there, because that's essentially what you've tasked me with, Father. So there's a big old ladder that we can climb down. And if we feel so inclined, we can also fall, because there's no falling damage. This game is not really about the platforming. It's about the story, first and foremost. And we do have this lovely little sort of Atari ST sounding jump sound. It almost feels like we're playing Pitfall, and maybe that is something that's designed to be evocative of that situation here. So you would think that this is a very careful, jumping, precise moment that we're supposed to be going through here. Obviously, we want to avoid these spikes when possible, but this is maybe a little bit more than our character has, in it for us. Wow, I'm injected with toxic. I was aiming for that specific pixel right here, and I'm betting that it's not actually possible to land in it. I've never done it yet, but you'll see why that's significant in just a few moments here. So we get to the end of the cave. It's not a very long cave. If you're expecting a long sequence of platforming, unfortunately, you will be disappointed at this point. So this cave was hiding some food. Looks like just a dead snake to me. Looks like that as well to me. So we can press Z to eat. And the snake's poison doesn't taste too well. And we'll try and make our way back out. And we fall dead on the platform there. Which is just kind of what happens, I suppose. And you can kind of see where things are going to go from this point, I would assume. We take the role of another one of the sons here, almost like we're playing something like Rogue Legacy, perhaps. And the father tells us the exact same story. Almost seems like one of those very dark fables that maybe we shouldn't languish in because it's super dark. So we assume the same role, jump back down into the pit, and try to make our way past some of these spikes again. Not sure why these spikes seem to be covered in poison. Maybe one of these times I'll make it over this. Doesn't seem to happen. But honestly, I'm not entirely sure it matters whether or not I make it past those spikes. Even if I did make it past them, I think the same thing would happen. Because essentially the snake is what it's all about here. The man looks pretty familiar. Yeah. Well, apparently when we reach him, first thing that jumps to mind is we can press Z to eat. And the toxic in me seems to have reacted with something in the food. I feel even worse now. Yep, so, we make our way back a little bit more. And so begins the cycle anew. Father, "Oh son, our village is starving." Praise the cave. You get the story by now. It's pretty much the same thing each time. It's actually exactly the same thing each time. And I have to say, one thing that, before we go any further, while we're up here, I think this is kind of a nice visual presentation. It's very sparse, it's minimal, doesn't need to be particularly complex or anything. You get the idea. The symbols of the humans are evocative of humans. We've got a living establishment here. We've got a background that is bright and sunny. And as you actually get down into the depths of this cave, it actually does get a little bit darker. Sort of a faded, drab, maybe. I don't even know. It might be olive. I can't really tell. The man looks pretty familiar. It's funny how we identify him as a man, and we're like, you know what? We should eat that. That's something that we should eat. So eating this fresh meat feels a bit strange, or felt a bit strange. And now we make our way back to the camp, And I don't know, it's kind of going to be up to you guys what you take away from this experience at this point. This is sort of where the narrative is going to wrap things up, so I'm going to actually wrap up the episode at this point. It seems like it went way faster than I even expected it to, but that is just the nature of this story. It's a short story, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'm going to leave you with the grisly details as we go out. Thank you, everybody, for watching. As always, feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear what you thought of this little experimental narrative. What do you think of the combination of platforming elements as well as story, how those two coalesce into something sometimes greater than the sum of its parts? I think that's kind of a cool thing to talk about, and I kind of wish I could have gone over the top of this mountain and explored the world a little bit more in search of maybe some food that didn't involve poison, but I guess that just isn't in the cards for our little tribe here, who will maybe not be lasting much longer. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Links in the description if you want to grab this yourself. Play it with a friend. Get your own comments and 2 cents in. I'd love to hear from you, like I said already. Other links available in the description as well. And hopefully I will see you back again tomorrow. New episodes go up every single day on Indie Impressions. So if you'd like, I'd love it if you come back again tomorrow. So here we go. Look how fat he has become. Thanks for bringing us the food. Now, let's eat.